Warning, being Black, Asian, Hispanic, or any other race will end your life. And do not leave your house if you want to survive, as it's now legal for the government to end you, and it's being done everywhere. People were terrified after teachers are now warning parents of violent school ICE raids, arresting and ending the lives of all POC students at school, and your child needs to run. As haunting reports say, ICE is officially racially profiled just those who look like a person of color, with even Homeland Security leaving a haunting message for all POC children, saying criminals will be unable to hide in schools now.
The Department of Homeland Security saying on Tuesday, quote, criminals will no longer be able to hide in America's schools and churches to avoid arrest.
And unlike before, there's nowhere to run either, as ICE raids used to just happen for 1 week randomly, but now they'll be going on indefinitely, and parents can't remove their child from school fast enough. A lot of teachers are working with their students to help, and you should talk to them.
Record 10 million illegal border crossings over the past 4 years. Tonight, a dramatic escalation of President Trump's illegal immigration crackdown. The first of 1,500 extra troops touching down in El Paso, Texas to support border security. And for the first time, migrants being deported not on chartered flights like before, but on military aircraft. 2 flights landing this morning in Guatemala.
We're getting the bad, hard criminals out. These are murderers. These are people that have been as bad as you get.
After a record 10 million illegal border crossings over the past 4 years, ICE now ramping up roundups of undocumented immigrants, making 538 arrests yesterday across the country, doubling its daily average in September. Cities including San Francisco, Salt Lake City, and Atlanta. In Newark, New Jersey, this surveillance video appears to show ICE agents making arrests. City officials and immigrant advocates say ICE agents raided this local business, arresting 3 undocumented immigrants and briefly detaining an American citizen, a military veteran, while they asked him for documentation.
They were scrambling up delivery ramps. They were banging down bathroom doors to make sure no one was hiding inside.
ICE doesn't call them raids, but targeted enforcement operations, adding agents sometimes encounter U.S. citizens while conducting field work and may request identification.
Do you plan to use city resources to impede ICE?
We're not going to participate in what we think is unlawful.
Newark's Democratic Mayor Ras Baraka telling us late today there were 2 more operations in his city where more than a third of the population was born outside the U.S.
Donald Trump won this election. What would you say to Trump supporters who are watching this and saying, that's what we voted for?
They're wrong. I would say you're wrong. You were wrong then, and you're wrong now.
Meanwhile, according to this internal memo obtained by NBC News, the Trump administration is reversing another Biden border policy, allowing ICE officials to quickly deport migrants who were legally allowed into the country temporarily under the Biden administration. Back in El Paso, Daniel De La Cruz lives just blocks from the border and praises President Trump for keeping his campaign promise on deportations.
America needs to take care of the American people. I'm glad that Trump is in office implementing the law.
Meantime, Gabe, you have some new reporting about Mexico's role in all of this.
Yes, Lester, 2 U.S. defense officials tell NBC News that Mexico denied access to a U.S. military deportation plane on Thursday. As we mentioned, 2 planes landed in Guatemala today. Meanwhile, here in Newark, the mayor says that he expects more deportations over the next few days. Lester.
All right, Gabe, thank you.
All right, Shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. We give double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the 4 corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and the women who follow. This is Brother Kratazah from the GMS Nebraska camp, coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. This one being entitled, there's nothing new under the sun. And this is Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. It says, the thing that has been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. So, we watched the videos with all the ICE raids with Trump and, the military rounding up so-called illegals, which, the bulk of it is Issachar and the Latino community, right, which are part of the 12 tribes of Israel. I say it's no new thing under the sun because it reminds me of, the different Caesars expelling the Jews from Rome. Okay, it's kind of like a manhunt. If you go back and you watch these videos,
Warning: being black, Asian, Hispanic, or any other race.
one of them had the police cars, but it reminds me of like a manhunt. You know what I mean? Just something that here we go right here. That's what I wanted. When you see this, it definitely reminds me of, hold on, let's get this. Yeah, Isaiah 59:19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and the glory from the rising sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard against him. And this is what a flood looks like. I've been bringing this out a lot lately. It's been heavy on my spirit, but this is exactly what a flood looks like. Countless number of police cars for what? 10 people, 15 people? You couldn't have got too many people in this one area, in this one raid. But when you come with this overwhelming force, all right, number one, it sets a precedent. It makes the people feel a certain way. Like, I'm not safe anywhere. Two, you pretty much you get everybody that you're trying to get. And then three, I don't even know. I don't even really have a three. But this is the message that you're trying to send. And like I said, it just puts me in that mind of when Claudius, we can start with Claudius, but there were a few different Caesars who expelled the Jews from Rome. So it says Claudius' expulsion of Jews from Rome references an expulsion of Jews from Rome by the Roman Emperor Claudius, who is in office from 41 AD to 54. Right? It says it appears in the Acts of the Apostles in Romans, or Acts 18:2. Slakia. So let's get that. This is Acts 18. I'll start at verse 1. It says, and after these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, which Pontus is in Turkey. All right, same country as Paul. Born in Pontus, lately come from Italy with his wife Priscilla. So this shows that, you had Jake who were moving around the empire. So he was born in Pontus. Let's get a map just for edification. Bear with me. See if I can get a good one. Yeah, here we go. All right, so it said that he was born in Pontus, which Pontus is in this area right here. All right. He was born in Pontus, and then he went to Rome in Italy, and then he was expelled, and they had to go to Corinth, which Corinth is in this area. Okay. So it says, because that Claudius had commanded all the Jews to depart from Rome. So you have to imagine what was the ancient version of this. You know, they probably, just like how they're going to the churches, they're going to the schools, they're going to the hospitals, to the restaurants, to the places where they know people work, to these Latino communities. You can imagine, you know, back in the time of Claudius, they did something similar. You can imagine that, you know, they would go to these Israelite communities, go to the synagogues, okay, go to, you know, the places that the new Jake was. And it wasn't difficult to, you know, to spot our culture because we wasn't wearing togas. You know what I mean? So you just look for someone who's not dressed like everyone else, maybe someone who has darker colored skin. You know, you can do exactly what they're doing and just racially profile. Okay, you just racially profile and look, just get the little black kids. You know what I'm saying? Little Mexican kids, and you can let's get that racial profiling. It says that ACLU's work on racial profiling encompasses the major initiatives in litigation, public education. Yeah, that's really not important. But this is really all you need to do is just look for someone with the wrong skin tone, okay, and run down on them. That's what they were able to do. So you also had this guy Tiberius. I thought I had him up here somewhere. Um, this is from the AI overview. It says in his works, Antiquities of the Jews and Wars of the Jews, Flavius Josephus described the expulsion of the Jews from Rome and Jerusalem. The expulsion from Rome and Jerusalem. Josephus described the temporary expulsion of Jews from Rome under Emperor Tiberius. Claudius ordered the entire Jewish community to leave Rome. Some Jews were drafted into the military and sent to Sardinia. Josephus' accounts of the expulsions of the Jews from Rome helps to show that the policy was not new, but rather followed some patterns from the later Republic, right? So going back to what I said, you know, there's nothing new under the sun. They did it in Rome, or they did it in the Roman Republic, they did it in the Roman Empire. All right, it only makes sense that they would do the same thing in the revived Roman Empire. All right. Yeah, we don't really need to get that. That's speaking about 70 AD. But I think I had maybe one more scripture. Yeah, so this is Matthew 6:10 and 16. It says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves." You know, it says, "Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." We have to keep our head on a swivel because this is really opening a can of worms. It said that they were detaining citizens. So if brothers who are, quote, natural citizens of Babylon, you know, Latino Akim, you know, be sober, be vigilant, okay? Because the roaring, let's get that. First Peter 5:8, it says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, is a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." You know, and that's what he's trying to do. All right, with this ice, you know, he's trying to devour the people. You know, look at him. We got him sitting here in the hot, you know, desert sun. You know, all the shade that they got is their little car. Very little resources. Whatever they got in this little backpack and a little bottle of water, just throwing them on planes, dropping them off in countries they may or may not be from. You know, they may not know anybody in Guatemala. You know, what if they're from Puerto Rico and you're just dropping them off in Guatemala? Totally displacing these people, you know, but they don't get no fuck. You know, they came and they took over the country, you know, And now is anyone else who comes to this country illegal the same way that they did, you know, they don't have a place. They're just out of order. Even if they're coming back to the same place where they actually were, which you know, the Mexicans own California, the Mexicans own Texas in the Southwest. But verse 17 it says, "But beware of men, for they will deliver you up unto councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues." You know, definitely speaking of the men of the Lord, but hey, these people are getting picked up as well. So we have to just know that, you know, our time is coming. You know, like I said, this is setting a precedent. You know, if they're willing to pick up these other just, you know, these illegal people, they're ready to crack down on any and everything. All right, and it's the truth just has its time to come. So that's all I really wanted to get with this lesson. Lord's word is edifying. And with that being said, we give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Karkadash. Give double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and women who follow. Shalom.